the one, the only, Ben
And welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Daily Doubles. Continuing with Beitzah, Perek Dalid, Mishnah is Dalid, and hey, Mishnah Dalid states, "Ein pochsen es haner mimnei shusa Kelly." You're not supposed to, if you have a candle that is not yet made, you want to put a hole in it so it can contain oil. You can't do that on Yom Tov because masakin man, it has nothing to do, even though it's considered to be a preparation for maybe lighting it, but it's machshirei ochel nefesh. Lighting a candle could be used for fire, to warm yourself up, or to see, which are part of ochel nefesh. However, this is machshirei ochel nefesh, it's not mutter. But also in bechamin, you also can't make coals. Again, coals is machshirei ochel nefesh, which is 2 steps away from the cooking. B'yom tov. Ein choskan es hapsilo l'shnayim. You're not allowed to cut. You have a wick that's too big. You want to cut into 2 separate wicks that will be usable. You can't do that. Again, that's masakin mana. Again, it's 2 steps away. It's not the actual lighting, it's getting it ready to light. Rabbi Yehuda says that if you want, what you could do is you could take the big wick, put one end in one candle, the other end in another candle, light it in the middle, and this way it'll burn in the middle and break into 2 separate psilos. That is okay. And we pass on the Rabbi Yehuda because even though you are masakim, you're making psilos, but you're also doing the malakavavara simultaneously. I'll explain why in Iyam Mitzio, and I think this is, we pass on the Rabbi Yehuda, why that's the halacha. Mishnah hey, ein shoven es acheres, ve'ein chosen es hanayar l'tzalos b'moliach. When you want to cook something, you want to grill something, so one of the ways of doing this is you don't put it directly on the fire, you would put it on cheres, you'd put it on a piece of shard, earthenware shard, on top of the coals, let's say. You can't break a piece of cheres in order to put meat on it. Ve'ein chosen es hanayar l'tzalos b'moliach. Or if you want to cook a fish, you want to put, let's say, baking paper. You can't cut baking paper. Again, that's masakin mana to cook a fish. And if you have your oven, you want to take out some of the ashes and smooth it out. Again, that's masakin mana. It's fixing it, making it ready to cook. Again, it's machshir ochel nefesh. Rabbi Yehuda allows, we paskin, you're not allowed to do that. Of a machabshin, however, you could smooth out the ashes. Not to remove them is masakin mana, but to smooth them out is okay. You're not allowed to put 2 barrels next to each other to place a pot on top of it because it looks like you're building. You're not allowed to use a piece of wood to rest a pot on the stove. If it's an uneven stove, it might fall over because wood, this is talking about wood that wasn't prepared yet. It's not, wood is only supposed to be used for firewood. For other purposes, it's not allowed to be used. So if you want to support a door that it's off the hinges, you can't use that piece of wood for that. Wood is only allowed to be used for its specific purpose. If you're riding an animal, you can't be part of the Kentucky Derby on Yom Tov. The reason is because we're afraid if you lose that, whatever they call it, the band to hit the horse, you might rip off a branch, which you're not allowed to do on Yom Tov. Rabbi Shimon says you're allowed to, if you're on an animal, you're allowed to hit it and to lead it with a makkah, with a stick on Yom Tov. We don't pass Rabbi Shimon, we pass that it's usher. In fact, it's even usher to ride the animal. So we're talking about obviously a case where you're not on the animal, because riding and being on the animal, it was a bad example. I said being a Kentucky Derby, you're not allowed to ride on an animal on Yom Tov. But even if you're behind the animal, you can't hit it with a stick. You have to walk, according to the Chachamim, because you might go ahead, if you lose your stick, and grab a branch to take it off from the tree, which is Lach of Kotzer, which is not allowed on Yom Tov. That's the conclusion of tonight's share. Stay tuned for Iyam Mitzio, where I discuss the end of Mishnah Daled.